epithermal silver deposit. David Wolfin, President and CEO of Avino Silver and Gold. He's led the company for quite a number of years now and moved it from a company with just a little minority piece of a 500-year-old mine and right to the majority ownership here with of Avino with 300 to 500 employees. And he'll be telling you now about the story of what's coming up with Avino. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome everybody. Let's move on to the slides here. Here we go. So Avino was incorporated in 1968. We're in our 57th year of being in business, 40 years of production. The tagline is a clear path to transformational growth. Our plan is to become a mid-tier producer from a junior producer within 5 years. Caution you that I'm going to be making some forward-looking statements. So Avino is made up, its portfolio of 3 assets. So located in Mexico, in the heart of Mexico, in the state of Durango, on the Sierra Madre Silver Belt, where many mines exist. So the beauty of that is we have access to high level of skill in the jurisdiction. We have 450 employees, 100% Mexican labor force, right up to our chief operating officer. The project portfolio is made up of the producing Avino mine. We produced 2.4 million ounces of silver equivalent last year. We're on pace to do 2.5 to 2.8 million ounces this year. La Preciosa we acquired in 2022 from Coeur Mining. That's in permitting phase right now. And the Oxide tailings project, that's reprocessing tailings. So these 3 assets are going to make up our growth over the next 5 years. Large silver equivalent resource base, 371 million ounces of silver equivalent, 43-101 compliant. 60% of that is pure silver. Here's our growth projection over the next 5 years. The dark blue represents the producing Avino mine. The lighter blue is the La Preciosa mine, and the lightest blue in 2028, 2029 is from the Oxide tailings project. So 8 million ounces from 2.5 million in 5 years is our goal. And here's the production profile, return to primary silver producer. So this year, 46% of our production will be silver, 20% gold, and 34% copper. But as we bring on La Preciosa and Oxide tailings, you're going to see more silver production. Recent achievements, so acquiring La Preciosa in 2022 from Coeur, and then working on surface rights agreements with the local ejido groups. These are people that reside over the municipality in which La Preciosa is located in. So we got the agreement in place in January and immediately applied for an environmental permit to put in an underground mine. And our plan is just to put in a simple portal and a decline and truck the ore over to Avino and process it there. So we don't expect any delays in getting this permit. We're hoping to get it by June or July. Oxide tailings pre-feasibility study, we released that information earlier. There's a slide coming up that I'll talk about. In 2023, we did 7,500 meters of drilling directly below the Avino mine, and this is to test the extent of mineralization below the bottom developed part of the mine. And we intercepted the best intercept in company history, 57 meters of true width of 300 grams of silver equivalent. Within there was 37 meters of 407 grams of silver equivalent. And then within there was 3.43 meters of almost 3 kilograms of silver. And this has never been mined before. It's 100 meters below where we're mining now. So we're thrilled about that we've extended the mineralization. ESR designation, We received this designation for the second year. This was awarded to us by an independent board of philanthropists in Mexico, so we're quite proud of that we're socially recognized as a socially responsible company there. Dry stack tailings, we spent $10 million building a brand new state-of-the-art dry stack tailing storage facility because we were planning our big expansions and we didn't want to have any issues with tailings. So this is the safest way to store tailings. And then, so the development of the Oxide Tailings Project, we drilled the toe of the dam, the exposed bench, back in 2016. We did a preliminary economic assessment in 2017. It was recommending a heap leaching operation, which we've since transitioned and completed a pre-feasibility study on a dynamic leaching, which is a smaller footprint and higher recovery rates. So we're excited about that. And the reason why it took so long to develop it was because it was an active tailings dam. So since we got the dry stack going, we were able to allow the tailings to dry out so it was safe enough to put a drill rig on top. So we put 150 drill holes between 2022 and 2023 and metallurgically tested that and then announced the pre-feasibility study results this year. Here's the results. So economic return, 61 million post-tax NPV with a 5% discount, 26% post-tax IRR, payback period at 3.5 years. And this is based on 22 silver and 1,800 gold. So obviously these numbers are going to be much higher with the new metal prices. Capital costs on a standalone basis, $49 million. The cost to mine at the Oxide Tailings will be under $10, $9.71 per ounce of silver equivalent. All-in sustaining will be $10.23. So we're excited about that. We've transitioned this to a reserve from a resource. So we've got 6.7 million proven and probable reserves. Average grade 55 grams, 0.47 grams gold, so very good for reprocessing. The nominal rate will be 2,250 tons per day, 821,000 tons per year, 9-year mine life. It's going to produce 9 million ounces of pure silver and 76,000 ounces of gold. We'll employ 121 people. This is on top of the 450 people that currently work for us. It will generate $50 million in taxes for the Mexican government and $140 million in the local community. So financial highlights, Q4 and full 2023, strong revenues and improved margins for Q4, positive net income and adjusted earnings, improved per ounce costs in Q4, and our working capital is growing. So we generated last year just under $44 million in revenue, similar to 2022. We had positive earnings of $500,000. We had positive EBITDA of $2.5 million, adjusted earnings of $4.6 million, and 4 cents per share. Cost per ounce trending down. So you can see in Q4 we had $15 cash cost per ounce, $21.67 all-in sustaining. We expect this to go down, but with the current metal prices, that's at 28. You're looking at $6 a margin times $2.5 million would be about $15 million in free cash flow. And within 5 years, if you use the same metric, you're looking at 8 million ounces. You're looking at close to $50 million in free cash flow, half our market cap. So cost per ton, this went up because we produced more tons and less ounces because of the grade last year, but we were because of mine sequencing, and we're seeing higher grade now in Q1, so we're expecting these results to trend lower. And here's La Preciosa. So we acquired in 2022 for $30 million in upfront consideration. We acquired this from Coeur Mining, who paid $350 million buying Orco back in 2013 for the same asset. So we're quite happy that we got our hands on this. It's 19 kilometers away. We've got a dedicated power line capable of 5 megawatts. We're only utilizing 3, so we have excess electricity capacity. Paved road, you can see there's farms around the area. It's in the high desert, about 1,900 meters, so we're not in a remote area. It's open. There's villages surrounding the mine, so it's a very safe area. And high water supply. We have several wells, one in between the two assets, and a dam with millions of cubic meters of water. And with the new dry stack tailings storage facility, we're recycling water, so we've got plenty of water. 100% Mexican labor force, right up to our chief operating officer, who's a graduate of Colorado School of Mines, so we've got an excellent team down there. Here's La Preciosa, so 1,500 drill holes, been pin cushioned, as you can see, 90 million spent drilling it by Orco, Pan American Silver, and Coeur Mining. So we're thrilled to have this in our portfolio. It's all red. It's all between 150 and 500 grams of silver. Our cutoff grade is 120, so this is all ore grade material. And here you can see even higher grade, above 500 grams in the red. There's 17.4 million metric tons of measured and indicated, or 113 million ounces of silver equivalent. Then in the inferred category, another 4.4 million metric tons, or 24 million ounces of silver equivalent. How are we going to mine it? So we're going to put in one portal and a decline, 350 meters in, a short distance to get to La Gloria and Abundancia, where there's 6 million tons. We're going to put a spiral trackless decline ramp in where rubber tire trucks can go in. And ultimately, our plan is to mine from all 3 of these areas and come out of one portal. So it's only one permit that we're waiting for. And so we're excited about this. When we announced in January we got the surface rights agreement, we sent our trucks and scoops over to site. There was about 20,000 tons of broken ore on surface. This was mined out in the 80s by Lewisman, and so we've hauled this to site and we're processing it now by way of bulk sample. Here's our global resource, so 52 million metric tons of M&I, or 277 million ounces of silver equivalent, another 24 million metric tons of inferred, or 94 million ounces of silver equivalent. That's what gives us the combined 371 million ounces of silver. So a lot of leverage to the price of silver. Our stock has doubled in the last couple months because of the new metal price environment. And so outlook for 2024, production of 2.5 to 2.8 million silver equivalent ounces. We're going to process between 700 and 750,000 tons in the mill. Capital budget is 7.3 to 9 million. 3 to 4 million of that is to put the decline into La Preciosa. The rest is sustaining capital and upgrades to our mining fleet. CSR initiatives. So again, I mentioned earlier we won an award. We sell our concentrate primarily to Samsung C&T, and we asked them if they could help us in the local communities. So they donated 150 Galaxy tablets and 25 televisions. So we've been handing those out in the local communities to say thank you for helping us get the minerals and empower the world with electronics. So research coverage, you can see H.C. Wainwright, AGP, Roth, and Cantor. Their targets are between $1.20 and $1.80 US. And currently our market cap is 144 million Canadian, 106 million US. We're trading up towards the higher end of the 52-week range, thanks to the new metal prices, the rally that's going on. $1.10 Canadian, 81 cents US. And average daily volume, 35,000 to 100K in Canada. and 250 to a million in the U.S. We've been blowing past the high end. We traded 10 million shares on New York last week. Yesterday, 2.5 million shares traded on New York. So a lot of liquidity in our stock. I'm the largest shareholder, so I've got a lot of skin in the game. Blood, sweat, and tears. I worked in the mine as a teenager, so I grew up in this industry and working for this company. Tidal Investments has bought Prime Silver ETF, so the ETFs are starting to buy our stock. They got 3 million shares right now and growing. Now that we've breached 100 million US, we're expecting more ETFs to come in. There's 131 million shares outstanding and 143 million fully diluted, and we're debt-free, other than some equipment debt. So why invest? It's a primary silver producer and explorer. We control our destiny. It's not through M&A. It's through developing La Preciosa and bringing that online. So that's the big catalyst this year, and moving the Oxide tailings forward. We're doing community engagement on that, and so we've got high leverage to silver, 371 million ounces. So big resource base, a proven track record with 56 years being in business, and undervalued relative to our silver peers on a price to net asset value. Although it's come back up, I think we're about 0.5, but the peers are about 0.8, and you could attribute some of that to Coeur because they liquidated their position in Avino, which brought our share price down. But that was done at 44 cents US, and we've doubled since then. So, and it's been redistributed out into the market, and so there's no large overhang in our stock. Our balance sheet's growing. Our working capital has gone up to over 10 million and growing. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here and just say that, we've got a clear path with the 5-year goal. We own the assets, so we're very excited, and we have the expertise to do it. We've done several expansions, and we've got the team and the know-how to do it. So it's the largest expansion in company history. So I'll turn that over to you. There's some time
Very good.
left
Thanks,
if anyone
David.
has any questions.
Yes, any questions from the audience?
Thanks. Just a quick question. 5-year goal, what's the ounces you estimate?
Pardon me?
5-year goal, do your ounce estimates for production?
8 million ounces, and we want to get the all-in sustaining between $10 and $12.
Per ounce.
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost you to get there?
So for La Preciosa, it's 3 to 4 million to put in the decline to start generating positive cash flow, and then the Oxide tailings is 49 million, which we won't make that decision until 2025 because we're doing community engagement and then permitting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question in the back.
Yes, sir.
You have elections in Mexico in June the 2nd. If Claudia Sheinbaum were to win, do you expect any changes in her attitude towards mining?
It's hard to know, but we've been there for 57 years. We've been through many administrations. I believe they're pro-jobs, and we have a small environmental footprint, so I don't expect it's going to affect us, but new entrants into Mexico may be more challenging.
Any other questions from the audience? One for me, David. Renewables energy strategy.
Yeah, well, when we acquired La Preciosa, the office over at La Preciosa is on solar, so we're exploring putting more solar farms in the area to help us. But we have excess electrical capacity, so we have various different options.
All right, thanks, David.
Thank you very much.